You read that right! I got hands-on with the newly announced Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar on PC and caught a glimpse of how it's running on the Nintendo Switch, and I've got a lot of thoughts. Thanks to Marvelous, I was invited down to their headquarters. I got to play this as well as Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma. I've already posted my thoughts on the latter already. Before we get into this, it doesn't matter if they invited me to the headquarters. However I feel is how I feel. If I like something, I'll let you know. If I don't, I'm gonna let you know as well. And this video's purpose is that you know everything from good to concerns before you decide to spend some money and pre-order this baby. Just keep in mind this was a preview build, so things can change before launch in August, and features might be shifted, polished, or even dropped entirely. So right off the bat, I was made aware that even though this game is based off Harvest Moon Grand Bazaar on the DS, this is not a remake per se, but more so a chance to bring this game back to life. A game that the team said has so much promise and the concept is so fun. This one is a lot bigger and better in every possible way than the DS version. Grand Bazaar gets a complete fresh coat of paint and it looks amazing, and the story is expanded here as well. And before you wonder, yes, you can customize your character and get the cutest flippin' outfits. So the gameplay loop is you working on your farm to get good quality produce. You can also fish, catch bugs, and forage. Then you wait for the Saturday Bazaar to sell your items. During this event, you get 2 shifts, so you can set up and stock your items. You can customize your stall, and then you begin selling products through a fast and fun minigame. Customers will be wandering around the bazaar, and you can use your bell to catch their attention. Then they're gonna approach you and see the various items you have on sale, and then ask you for a number of items. Then you need to press the sell button as many times as whatever quantity they've asked for. You can also hire these little sprites as mascots, and they're gonna help you quickly sell items to increase the tips you get. The minigame is so fun and quick. I don't know if it's gonna get boring when we play it like a lot, but as far as what I've seen, it was really fun to do. Once your first shift is done, you can go ahead and take a look at what other shop vendors are selling around in the bazaar. You can buy barn animals, seeds, clothes, farm upgrades, better tools, etc. But I don't know if you can buy stuff outside of the bazaar, so during the rest of the week. Anyways, neighbors are gonna start setting up their own stalls as well as you rank up the town and hit different milestones. Meaning the more renown you have, the more new characters are gonna visit you, with up to 38 folks in total that you can meet. You have these new zones to explore. I only saw the town and my house area, and I love how compact the preview showed me things are going to be. So it's going to be interesting to see how the other areas are going to be when the game is fully out. There is no minimap, which made traversing difficult for me, so I had to rely a lot on the map. But the team told me that this is happening because obviously I'm jumping straight into a save file without having time to familiarize myself with my surroundings. Speaking of jumping, you can jump here, and it's such a small thing, but I don't know about you. I'm bad at navigation, and I'm also just lazy. So having a feature where traversal is just made easier, I'm like, yes, please. But back to the minimap, yes, my sense of navigation is terrible, and apparently a lot of you are like me as well. Hopefully, not having a minimap is not going to cause a lot of issues when we get access to the other areas in the game. I also want to point out that I really like how packed the town is, and you don't feel like you're walking in empty and lifeless areas. And the best part is the town bazaar itself. It's so colorful and packed with people, and it made the world feel very lively. But what are you doing on the other days? Well, you're gonna spend lots of time on your farm, and you have some fun abilities to help you make farming quicker at the cost of stamina. By managing your soil and using fertilizer, you can grow better crops, which means you're gonna get more money for them when you sell during the bazaar. As usual, you're gonna till the soil, plant crops in their corresponding seasons, use fertilizer, fill your watering can to water them, and wait until it's harvest time. Your hotbar has different levels, and it's very easy and quick to switch between your tools. And of course, this is not a Story of Seasons game without the cute barn animals. You have cows, chicken, and sheep, as well as alpacas returning from Olive Town. You'll need to feed them, cuddle with them, and sometimes allow them to be outside. Their produce can be used to make new ingredients, which you can sell at the bazaar, like mayo, yogurt, cheese, and more. And thank God, there are no makers like in Olive Town. You can also own cats and dogs to teach them tricks, and you can get yourself a horse. You do have a house, and this is where I saw my pet mostly hanging out, but you cannot decorate it freely. It's very limited, and I wish it was otherwise. So from what I have seen, you can do a bit of controlling, like deciding what you want to put on shelves and stuff like that, but as far as I'm aware, you cannot decorate in terms of moving around furniture. The weather plays a big role in this game, not only in terms of seasons to determine what to grow, or having rain, which which will spare you from having to water your crops. But you can even experience hurricanes, which can damage your crops. So you need to use these windscreens to protect your produce. So when a hurricane is coming up, you're gonna get notified the day before through the radio. So as you can see, I woke up and I got this notification for it. The wind will also impact how you use your glider. If the wind is strong, you're gonna be gliding a lot faster. I can see this mechanic becoming cumbersome when you want to use your glider because I'm not sure if the wind first is gonna change the direction of how it's going, but also because it feels like there's no set speed at which the glider is always going to be. So when we play the full game, I'm gonna try and see like, is there really a need for me to be using the glider, or is it just like an added bonus? And also, again, because I didn't see the new areas, I don't know if you use the gliders for that. Now, this entry emphasizes fun, and I really love to see it. Not only through the gliders, but you also have plenty of festivals to enjoy, sprites that need your help, over 260 recipes to discover and cook, and you can even catch bugs. I did not catch any bugs in this preview, nor even did I get to try fishing to see how difficult it is. And by the way, I saw some of you ask on different posts about multiplayer. It has been removed from this game to get rid of unnecessary distractions. Hello, you gorgeous human being, it's Miss Bubbles. Before we get into the romance, if this video is helpful, consider supporting the channel, be it through coffee or becoming a channel member in return for many perks, or simply squishing the like and subscribe buttons. These videos are a passion of mine. I love helping you out to decide if you're gonna spend your cash on a game or not. Every little bit of help goes a long way, so I can make these videos for you. You have 12 bachelors and bachelorettes, which includes 2 new love interests that were not in the previous game, Arata and Diana. It's also important to note that 2 of the overall bachelors and bachelorettes are going to be introduced in year 2 of your game, which are Samir and Kagetsu. Portraits are also back, which I know a lot of you are very happy to see. You can actually choose in the settings if you want to opt in or out of portraits. The greet feature from Trio of Towns returns here, where you can say hi to everyone by waving at them, and this makes gaining friendship points a lot quicker. If you've played Story of Seasons games before, you know that chatting with townsfolks and gifting them is part of the gameplay loop. So by waving your hand and not being forced to sit through unnecessary dialogue, this is such a game changer. This game is also adding a lot more tasks for you to complete, as well as cutscenes, and as always, gift giving is the love language of villagers here. Speaking of that, what is your love language? Mine changes depending on if it's like a partner or a friend or a family member, but what I love is giving people gifts and spending time with them, but what I like them to do is acts of service. So what about you? Anyway, you can gift people things like flowers, meals that you've cooked, or crafted condiments. This game also has a new soundtrack, and the events are fully voice acted. The voice acting is so ecstatic and funny, and I felt like it just added to the charm of Story of Seasons. Like, these games don't take themselves too seriously, so I feel like the voice acting was just the icing on the cake.
Very well. After all, I certainly can't perform housework if I don't put in the housework, now can I?
That's a good point. I'll admit, I'm a bit worried about how you'll manage.
Bookstore in the city, and I stopped there to pick up a novel that's been popular as of late.
What about performance though? So all of my footage is from the same work laptop that one of the team members gave me to play Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma, and the game ran so smoothly. And while I have no footage of the Nintendo Switch, I tried it on the version 1 of the Switch, so not the OLED one, and the game ran so well. Butter smooth, no pop-in, no lag, no stuttering. It looks amazing, so I can only imagine how amazing it's gonna look like on the OLED screen. You can pick up the game for yourself on August 27th with a physical pre-order for the Nintendo Switch coming very soon. The standard edition will be $49.99 or your regional equivalent. And you can also get the physical premium edition for $69.99, in which you're gonna get this adorable sheep plush, a cloth poster, a physical art book, and an OST disc. I will be filming an unboxing, so stay tuned for that. And if you like Marvelous, I got to play Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma, so hurry up and watch this video next because I had a lot to say about that. Thank you to my YouTube and Patreon bubblies who make videos like this possible, and a shout out goes to the Game Dimension, Jake Logan, and Will for going the extra mile. Until next time, stay bubbly.